listen, if I could pool all the people I have known from day one of my life till now, I'd be okay with wiping half of them away.
Awesome.
Hi, and welcome to our review of Spider-Man No Way Home, where we talk about Marvel and all things MCU.
Hi.
Hi!
Welcome to my channel.
Thank you so much for having me.
And before we get started, could you just introduce yourself to the folks at home?
Sure. Hi. My name is Syra. I am 39 years old and I live in New York.
Very nice. So I heard you did something really exciting last night.
I did.
What did you do?
I saw Spider-Man No Way Home. And I know we've been like talking about this, that we need to like really talk about it. So I finally saw it. I saw it in a theater with people.
Other humans.
Oh God. It was good. It was good. I have to say that the AMC theater that I went to, this was in New Jersey, the seats were big enough that you're pretty far away from the people next to you, and that the rows were also far away from each other. So I felt pretty okay, and I did keep my mask on.
I saw it on Saturday the 18th, so it was the day right after it came out. So anyway, let's just get into it because no one I know has seen it. My brother watches every movie that comes out, and I left the theater and I called him like, "Hey, did you see Spider-Man?" He hasn't seen it. So you're the first person that I'm talking to about it.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Yes. So just like let it out. Let it out. I'm like the last person in my group to see it. So we are the type of people that will not watch more than one trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even go on social. I don't want to know anything. I'm not on social media. I'm not on YouTube. Like, no, until I actually watch what I want to watch. So.
Yeah, I went and watched the trailer the night after I watched it and just clicked on a comment, and the person was like, "Don't put any spoilers." And everybody's like, "Yes, it's a great movie." And then the third comment was like, "This and this and this and this happened." And they're like, "Why are you being such a jerk?" And I thought we're at a point where we're all trying to collectively be better. But now this person said, "Well, somebody ruined Endgame for me, so."
What, you're gonna just pay it forward? No. You know, someone ruined one of the Harry Potter books for me, and it was actually a child. And I, to this day, will not forgive that child. Because I'm like, man, I was getting to that part, and then that was it. I was really upset about it. So, no, I'm very mindful. Everyone needs to be mindful, please.
Exactly. I went and saw it the second day because I'm on Twitter and YouTube all the time. So I was like, I don't want to, and I knew it would get spoiled.
Yeah.
So when you saw it last night, you had no idea.
I heard some things about certain people who might show up.
Yeah.
About certain storylines. I'm not one of those people that reads comic books. I'm kind of coming fresh into all of the comic book characters, so I didn't know what certain things were, so I'm kind of coming in like really fresh from that perspective. And I knew like a little bit, so I was kind of like waiting, but then I was like, oh, like I just want to enjoy the moment. So, yeah.
Had you seen the movies before with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield?
That's a really good question because the answer is no. I had only seen Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire. So over this weekend, I binged all of them because I had heard some grumblings and I was like, you know what? Let me just watch. And I had seen the trailer. So I knew that like Doc Ock was going to be in it. And I remembered, I was like, oh, I think that was from that. What was his story? So I ended up watching them before I went into this movie.
5 movies?
I watched the 5 movies, and then the only one I haven't watched, which is still on my DVR, is the animated one, the Into the Multiverse.
Yeah, people were worried and apprehensive about going to the theater. I had not been since 2019. The last movie I saw was Gemini Man with Will Smith in 2019. So
that's how you ended it.
that was it.
All right, that's how you went into the pandemic.
Well, no, that was in gosh, it's so funny. I actually I pulled out a coat because I thought it would be cold, and it's like 80 degrees, but I pulled out a coat in Texas, and in my pocket was the movie ticket.
Hey!
So I saw this October 20th, 2019.
Wow.
Gemini Man. Yeah, that was the last movie, and then that whatever COVID didn't start till March, but yeah. So what about you? Had you been to the theater or?
No. Had I been? I think so. I'm pretty sure this was the movie this one, and then last month or 2 months ago I saw Ghostbusters. So during 2020, no, and then up until the end of 2021, that's when I went to the movies. We had to see Ghostbusters, like that was no question.
Yeah, I saw Homecoming when it came out, the first Tom Holland movie. And then Far From Home, I just saw because it was on FX, and I hadn't seen it in the theater or anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that yes, I saw that this year. Far From Home. That was the only one I've seen since Endgame is Far From Home. I haven't seen any of the other ones or any of the Disney shows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen a lot of them.
Okay.
I saw WandaVision, and then I watched Loki, and I was very surprised about WandaVision. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But it was highly entertaining. Loki, not so much. And I love Loki, and I love Owen Wilson, but there was another character that was introduced that I did not like. So
I'll have to watch it. Now I think I have to, right? Since they're tying
then I watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I guess I watched pretty much all of them.
You did.
I haven't seen Hawkeye.
I've heard that's phenomenal, but he's so good. So
yeah, Anyway, it's a lot. But you recently watched Homecoming, so are you pretty is that pretty fresh in your mind?
No, Far From Home I recently watched. Homecoming I didn't watch recently, but I've got it.
Yeah. So I loved that movie. I saw Captain America Civil War, and then I saw Homecoming in the theater, and I just was like, oh my god. I love Tom Holland.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah, his introduction to me into the MCU, as far as Civil War. So he was introduced, and then Black Panther, and I just remember
the golden age.
The golden.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be known as the golden age of MCU. That was phenomenal.
Yeah. And so my favorite thing about Homecoming is that it was a real movie. It was a real story, and he's such a good actor. Everything he did was very, very believable, and Michael Keaton's character was the villain, but yeah, it was you could really understand where he was coming from. You could empathize with him, which I thought was just amazing as far as from a writing standpoint. I thought in the Tobey Maguire movies, they were a little too, I didn't like the villains in there.
They weren't really villains. That's the thing with Spider-Man movies. I felt just watching all of them and up until yesterday, I thought, none of the villains are really villains. Mm-hmm. They're all just they fell into these circumstances and then they made a choice to be on the bad side, which I don't want to spoil anything from yesterday, but
spoil away.
So I feel that's why they're we should fix them, we should cure them, because they all kind of just fell into the wrong place.
As far as in Marvel or DC, within those two universes, who do you feel is actually a villain and isn't a victim of like circumstance or?
You know who's? I think like the Hydra villains were pretty villainous because all they wanted was power and to dominate without actually like there was no reason. You know, they were on the, you know, the evil side, but they were like, no, I just want power and I want evil. Whereas like, I don't know, like everyone else, they were just like, you know, we had some bad luck and I want to make it better, but they didn't want world domination.
Who doesn't?
I don't know. I don't think I would want world domination. That's too much responsibility. I'm just trying to eat my chips and watch TV.
Okay. Did you see Infinity War?
Of course.
I have like these favorite lines from each movie. Okay, so the first Avengers, my favorite line is when Captain America, they're on the plane, and he says to Iron Man, "We need a plan of attack." And he says, you know what he says?
No.
He says, "We need a plan of attack." And Iron Man says, "I have a plan. Attack."
Oh yeah, he does like that.
And then he lands in there, and Loki and Thor fighting, and Thor's like, "You have no idea what you're doing." And he said, "Oh, what is this, Shakespeare in the Park? Does mother know thou wearest her drapes?" So, my point is, in Infinity War, when Thor comes into Wakanda, and like, to me, everybody in the theater, I like screamed.
Yeah, you're just like, oh.
Like, bring me Thanos. So do you think that Thanos also had reasons or justification?
He has a good point.
What is the point of the guy who wants to kill them?
He has a point that, you know, we've kind of mucked up the world and there's too many of us. And he just listen, if I could pool all the people I have known from day one of my life till now, I'd be okay with wiping half of them away.
Awesome. We're here for the honesty right there.
No, I mean what he said.
50% right there. Hey, I'm not gonna
putting it on. I'm just saying what everyone else is thinking.
That's true.
That's what I'm here for.
I can't say it because, you know, it's my show, but you.
Yeah, I that's what I think. No, I mean, let's just think from the global standpoint. If 50% of the population went away, then the Earth would just be better. I don't know. We've really mucked up the world.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think that people, like, what the blip was 5 years, I don't think people would, you know, people would just move on. I feel like they wouldn't be that, people would move on.
People
like,
can't.
All right, one generation's going to go, and then people will just know that, okay, a blip happened, and then they just carry on. I don't know. That's just my assessment.
Some people move on, not us.
No, but I wouldn't get blipped, right?
No, that's a line in the movie. Captain America and Black Widow, they could not move on. People in real life don't move on from anything. They surely wouldn't move on from that.
No, but the generation after that would.
5 years isn't a generation.
No, I'm saying after that generation, the sad generation, like people would just move on. Like if you have this, you know, child, the child's not going to be like, oh my God, the blip. No, they're going to move on with their life.
No.
There's telling me a 5-year-old child would not be able to move on.
Listen to, like, okay, COVID, like what we're dealing with right now.
Yes.
Like 5 million people, I think, in the world have died.
Has it really become 5 million?
Yeah. It's like 800 in the US. Won't move on. I mean, Americans don't move on from anything. We're talking about World War II. We talk about, I mean, Look at our movies. We constantly relive things to where people are like, my grandfather suffered in something, and people don't move on.
Maybe they remember things, but they're not gonna like base their entire life around that one event. Like, okay, my grandfather fought in World War II. Mine did too, but I don't think about it. I don't.
I'm gonna say something which is gonna be cut out.